is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. What is going on? Anyways, today we are going to talk about birth control and why I'm stopping it. So I have been on it for about 7 years. I'm not off it yet, but I'm just going to talk about why I am stopping, my experience with it, and what I'm hoping kind of happens. So just about that, and then when I'm off of it after like a couple months, because obviously I don't think anything's gonna happen immediately, but I will make a follow-up video just sort of updating on what I've noticed in myself since going off of it. I also want to start by saying I am simply just talking about a decision I made for myself. This isn't in any way encouraging anyone to stop what they're doing or change what they're doing. Just talking about my experience because I've always found other people's experiences with birth control interesting to see and just kind of comparing it. So that's why I'm making this, in case there's anyone else who is interested in it or if you're considering it, and just see my opinion on it. Like I said, I've been on it for about 7 years. That is a long time to be on those hormones, and I know it is not good for my body. My boyfriend has been telling me that too. I think a lot of people are starting to realize that more and more now, but I went on it when I was 16, I believe, 15, 16, just like, oh, hello. Anyways, for what a lot of people I think go on it for initially, so I was having irregular periods, my cramps are awful, it was so heavy, it was so long, and that is where birth control definitely helped me, I can say. It was regular every month. I know exactly when I'm gonna get it, when it's gonna come, much lighter. My cramps are more manageable. They're still there a little bit, but they're more manageable. Lighter, and it lasts the same amount of days every single time. It's always over before like the end of the weekend, sometimes like the middle of the weekend. It's great. So in that sense, it's helped me, and I also think it's helped with my skin a lot. I have had such bad acne growing up. I was on Accutane, I was on every pill, cream, everything that you can imagine, and I think birth control was very helpful in helping to control it after being done with that. I still get breakouts here and there, but it's nothing like before. I'm hoping that it was just like my 16-year-old body, and now that I'm 23, my skin won't be as bad, but I'm sure just from coming off all those hormones in general, that is something that's probably going to happen, which I am scared about because I have been fortunate enough to not really have many skin issues since then, but like I said, I'm still very scared of that happening because I know that's very common. So that is probably one of my biggest fears, and then I have my other fear, which is weight gain. So I've seen a lot of different things, which again, I know not to compare because everyone's bodies are different, especially when it comes to hormones, but I am very scared that I'm going to gain weight. I've seen both sides of it. I've seen people say when they got off of it, they started losing weight normally. When they were on it, they gained weight. I don't think I gained too much weight. I mean, again, I'm not 16 anymore, so my body would change regardless of being on birth control or not. But I feel like, especially in the recent years, I've had a difficult time losing weight, and I feel like going off of it might be something that helps. I can only hope. But I have seen people say when they go off they lose, or when they've gone off they gained because of that hormone imbalance. So that is what I'm scared of, if I'm being totally honest, especially right now, coming up on summer. It's cutting season. I'm doing a cut right now, so for that to happen would definitely throw me off a bit and very much mentally kind of mess with me, and it would be very frustrating. So I'm hoping that I don't really run into that issue. I'm hoping it's something that can now make it easier for me to lose weight, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to do a lot of work on balancing my hormones, but we'll kind of see how that goes because I don't really know where to start. And obviously I've seen a bunch of different videos on it, but how reliable can people be on the internet? But it always just interests me. So I like to just see other people's experiences and what's working for them and kind of see where to take it from there. But I also have always had very high cortisol levels, and obviously stress is a big factor in weight management. So I did start taking a cortisol manager. I actually just started yesterday, so not like I know if there's been any change just yet, but I'm hoping that's something that can help as well. And I'm also hoping it'll just help me mentally getting off birth control, because I think a lot of people who have been on it can agree it definitely is not fun. And that is the one stagnant response that I've gotten this since I posted yesterday about how I was going to make this video on my Instagram. So many people replied saying how they wanted to do the same, or when they've done it, it was the best decision they've ever made because they just feel so much better. And then they went into, my skin did break out, or I lost weight, or I gained weight, or whatever. But everyone said it was the best decision they've ever made mentally. So that has been really good to hear. So that's definitely what I'm hoping to get out of it too. And one of the other things is sex drive. Now, obviously, like I said, when I went on it, I was 16, so I don't really have anything to compare from when I was on it, or when I went on it, before I went on it, whatever. But I've seen a lot of research about that too, is that it lowers your sex drive, and going off of it, people start to get that back. So I'm hoping that's something that happens for me, because I feel like I've noticed that after kind of seeing it. So that is another thing that I'm hoping to get out of it. Again, this is just all stuff that I'm hoping, or I've heard, and just my experience being on it for so long. I've just been on the pill. I haven't been on anything else. I've been on the pill, and I was on, I know it changes a lot for some people. I've seen a lot of people say it got changed on them a lot. Happened to me once. I noticed my skin got worse, so I switched to a different one, and that one I have been on for the last 4 years. So I was on one form of the pill for, I think, about 2-3 years, the first 2-3 years, and there was a couple months span where I was on a different one, and then I switched to this one, and that's the one I've been using for the past 4 years. And everything has been fine, you know, my skin, nothing else really changed. But those are my concerns for when I go off of it. I am very scared. It's such a long time to be on a hormone, so I don't know what's gonna happen. And like I said, at this point right now, I'm really focusing on like my cut and finally getting to the point of where I want to be in like my training and nutrition, and getting it to line up and really getting the results that I want. So going off of it right now is scary, because if that happens, it will really throw me off. But it's definitely time. The reason I'm going off right now, so right now I have 3 days left, and then I have my placebos, and then I'm done. Then that's it. The reason I'm going off, so if you're on the pill, I don't know if they're all like this, but I get them in 3-month increments, and my prescription is for a whole year. And I refill it every 3 months until that year's up. So the year is up. And I did just recently get a new doctor, and haven't gotten the prescription from her yet. It was always been from my old doctor, and it was time to renew it, and I knew I would have to go in and have her get me a new prescription, or get a new prescription, whatever, for another whole year. Not that I would have to keep taking it for that whole year, but I would have to just go renew it for a year. And I just kept putting it off and not doing it. And I've been thinking about going off for quite a while, because like I said, we see so many stories of how birth control really is not good for us in the long run. So I've been considering going off for a while. And now that this year is up, I just finally was taking that time to be like, okay, I have this amount of time before this prescription is up. What do I want to do? So I finally decided like last month that I'm just gonna stop once this prescription is up. It's up, we're good, I'm not gonna refill it, I'm just gonna take it from here. And then the last reason too is pregnancy. Now, I am not planning or trying or whatever to get pregnant right now or anytime soon. that is not the case. But I have seen where, again, people, it's vice versa. So people have said they got off birth control and they were trying to get pregnant, immediately got pregnant, or they've gotten off and they had a really hard time after being on birth control getting pregnant. So that's another reason, is just a little concern with that, because we do want kids eventually, not right now. I wouldn't be trying this hard for a cut if I was just gonna get pregnant. So really not trying for that right now, but it is something I want in the future. And if that is something that is going to affect, you know, fertility for being on birth control for so long, I might as well get off it now, so when the time comes, maybe that won't be an issue. Again, there could be totally other underlying issues with either of us, but if we can at least cross that one off, being off birth control already for a little bit, that'll be a good thing. So that's another reason, but again, not trying anytime soon, but just something to keep in, that I wanted to keep in mind and just had in the back of my head, where there have been people who've had that experience and it's been linked to their birth control. So if I'm off of it now, hopefully when the time comes later down the road, then I will, you know, maybe not have as many issues trying to get pregnant when it comes that time. But that is just where I'm at with it for now. I obviously don't really have any updates because, one, I'm not even officially off it yet. 3 more days, technically like 10 more days if you count the placebos, and after that I won't be on them anymore or anything anymore, but so I'm not technically off it yet, and I know it takes a little bit to start really noticing some changes from being off of it, so I'm not gonna, you know, make an update right away because I know it's gonna take time. I definitely feel like I'll be very particular now about trying to notice things, and it might cause me to overthink it a bit more, but just hoping for the best. And I know kind of what to expect if it happens. Like, I can't be shocked if my skin gets worse, that type of thing. So that's what I'm scared of. That's why I'm going off it. That's the timeline we're at right now, and like I said, I just find these very interesting, hearing other people's experiences, and I don't want this to influence anyone else, but I do think it's good to share it because just something that's been talked about a lot recently too. So those are my fears and concerns, why I'm going off of it, and like I said, there are a lot of things it did help me with, so I'm very scared about that too, like gonna be irregular again, gonna be heavier again, awful cramps, all that very fun stuff. So that's also a concern of mine too, because like I said, it did help with all of those things, which was great. So that's gonna be frustrating, and I'm a big planner and I hate not being able to know when that's gonna happen. And I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be regular right off the bat. I think we all know that, so gonna do my best to manage everything, but hoping for the best, sort of expecting not the best, but we'll see how it goes. And like I said, I will make another video updating in a couple months, however long that may be, when I start to see any changes, again, whether they're positive or negative, and just update on that. So we're all in this together. This can be a little mini series, mini as in it'll probably only be a couple videos, but we will see how it goes. So everyone wish me luck, but I'm glad I could take you guys along for this and share it with you. I'll also share a little bit more on my other social medias like Instagram and TikTok, so you can follow on there. It's the same username as on here. And I will make some what I eat in a day videos for you come next week as well, because I did talk about that in my previous video about cutting. So I will plan on doing that for you guys. You can plan on expecting them. Thank you guys for watching, and let's do this together. I'm taking you along for the ride.